You might notice something's a little different. It's a very minor thing. You really might not notice it, honestly, because of how short the viewer attention span is nowadays. It's a very small, minor change, but I'm not wearing pants. The warm weather is just getting to be a bit too much, and I decided it's time to wear shorts. But no, in all seriousness, I got this Omni-Man hoodie. It's pretty sick, huh? But we're not here to talk about that. That's not what's important. We're here to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is the Cartoon Network classic, Adventure Time. Now you might be asking yourself, actually you're not asking yourself because you read the title, what exactly are we talking about in regards to Adventure Time? I feel like the show has been discussed to death. Well, let me tell you, we're going to talk about a character that I believe has not gotten enough attention or, I wouldn't say respect is the word, but notoriety. That being, of course, PB. Huh? What? What do you mean? Why are you all booing? Why are you all booing? No one talks about PB, like ever. Oh, you thought I meant Princess Bubblegum. Oh, you poor souls. Not that PB. No. I'm talking about the real PB. When you hear PB and you're a real fan, this is who you think of. I am, of course, talking about Flannel Boxingday. Now, Flannel's a pretty interesting case study. He only appears for one episode, and we don't get to learn too much about him. I mean, just based on appearance alone, he's just a guy with a suit, and he's got pink skin. That's pretty much all we get from him. But he's also a very free spirit, and we learn some other facts about him and make some other observations that, make people question who exactly Flannel Boxingday is. For context, Flannel Boxingday appears in the episode Lemon Hope Part 2. This is during the overarching Lemon Grab plotline, which definitely wasn't traumatizing as a child. But poor little Lemon Hope escapes from Princess Bubblegum after she said his attitude was unacceptable, which, yeah, poor choice of words there, princess. Unacceptable! And then he goes out and about running around happy and free. But then he lands himself on a pirate ship in the middle of the desert, and then he starts to run out of water and he starts drying out in the heat of the sun, and he's pretty much done for. That is until a mysterious cloud hovers directly above Lemon Hope and just juices him up, just gives him some water. And who is riding that cloud but the man of the hour, Flannel Boxingday. Lemon Hope's whole ideology, ever since he escaped from Lemon Grab and Princess Bubblegum, is that freedom is the only thing he cares about. You know, he's kind of self-centered. I mean, he is a lemon. And good old Flannel Boxingday shows Lemon Hope that he respects his life choices and ideologies and says, you know, you can come with me should you so choose. You are free to make that choice. And Lemon Hope does choose to go with Flannel Boxingday. And this is where we learn a little bit more about Flannel that kind of makes us question, like, wait a minute, I feel like I've seen this guy somewhere before. For one, Flannel seems to be very good with technology. He has an airship on top of a cloud which he can control and manipulate. So I'm gonna chalk that one up as weather manipulation. Flannel can also speak German, and there's only one other character we know of in Adventure Time who can speak German, in the present day anyway.
In deinem Kopf.
Pink skin, good with technology, same initials. I wonder who Flannel could be. Yes, it's widely accepted that Flannel Boxingday and Princess Bubblegum are the same person. They have the same initials, they have the same number of letters in their names, they both speak German, they're both good with technology, neither of them can approach Castle Lemon Grab due to treaties and politics, and a whole slew of other things, like even their names have the same amount of syllables in them. And of course, most obviously, they both have pink skin. But I'm not convinced that Flannel Boxingday is Princess Bubblegum. I feel like that would just be too easy. Does it make sense that PB would take up a new persona in order to watch over Lemon Hope and maybe try and appeal to his ideology a little bit just to make sure he's safe? Yeah, I think so. And in the episode, we also see Flannel kind of, not really pushing, but gently suggesting that he might nudge Lemon Hope in the direction of going and helping his people after they freed him, which is, I guess, counts as manipulative, which is something PB would do. So that's the widely accepted theory, that Princess Bubblegum and Flannel Boxingday are the same person. But like I said, I'm not convinced. I think there are two other possibilities of Flannel's existence, and I have some evidence written down here that I would like to go over. Theory number one, Flannel Boxingday is a clone or an alternate version of PB, or even alternatively, a candy person that she made and was deemed a failure. Also, we have seen Princess Bubblegum clone herself in the past, in that episode with the, what's his name? The suitor. What was his name? What was his name? I don't remember. Brocco, that was it. Brocco, yes. Princess Bubblegum cloned herself to give to Brocco so he wouldn't be lonely. So we know for a fact that PB can create sentient life and has cloned herself in the past. So I think it is possible that Flannel Boxingday might be either a clone that she made a long time ago, like a first attempt at a clone or making a male version of herself, or it was just like a failed version of herself that escaped. If Flannel is a failed clone, he definitely has her brain, which would definitely give him the advantage in terms of sneaking out. It's also pretty clear in the episode that Princess Bubblegum does actually care about Lemon Hope, you know, in her own Princess Bubblegum way. So I think it's also possible that she might have pulled a Brocco and cloned herself, just, you know, with a few small alterations like gender and voice and stuff like that, to give Lemon Hope a guardian who respects Lemon Hope's wishes and ideals. And also, we never see Flannel ever again after this episode. This is his one and only appearance, so it's possible that after his job was done and after the Lemon people were saved, that PB just shut him down because he is a clone. So whilst it's probably the most likely theory that Flannel Boxingday is Princess Bubblegum in disguise, I think it's semi-equally possible, maybe a little less equal, but still pretty viable that Princess Bubblegum cloned herself or was a failed clone version of herself that came and watched over Lemon Hope. But I have one more theory. This one's a bit more of a stretch, but I think it's still like, you know, if you squint at it, I think it could hold up a little bit. And that being that Flannel Boxingday isn't real at all. I think it is entirely possible that in his dried up state in the desert, Lemon Hope hallucinated or dreamed Flannel Boxingday, the character. Think about it, right? We see Lemon Hope having dreams constantly throughout part 1 and part 2 of his arc, and we see how those dreams relate both to Princess Bubblegum and Lemon Grab. So I think it's possible that that cloud that came and juiced up Lemon Hope was just a regular cloud, and Flannel was just a hallucination. It's possible that Lemon Hope had some kind of fever dream about the kind of person who he would want to be with, the kind of person who would respect him in the way he wants to be respected, because let's be honest, Flannel was like the best person for Lemon Hope. Also, to sort of create a bit of a link here and just create some more substance on this theory, I think that cloud that sort of juiced up Lemon Hope and kind of revived him is part of the same storm that we see happening over Castle Lemongrab. I think it's possible that that storm was stretched out for miles and the tail end of it happened to reach Lemon Hope, and he just walked all the way there while still kind of recovering, and on the way sort of hallucinated Flannel Boxingday. Because Flannel respects Lemon Hope, he is kind of everything Lemon Hope wants to be, free and adventurous and calls his own shots and looks pretty cool, I guess. And sure, Flannel does bring Lemon Hope to the edge of the Lemon Grab border, so, you know, it's probably, you know, Flannel's probably an actual real person. Dream theory is a bit of a stretch, but I still think it's possible. It's never confirmed in the show who precisely Flannel Boxingday is, although it's probably the most likely scenario is that he is PB. Either way, the narrative purpose he serves cannot be denied. Flannel is everything that Lemon Hope wants out of his friend or compatriot. Flannel advises Lemon Hope and gives him advice, but always reminds him that it's his choice to do whatever he chooses to do. And Flannel serves as one of those characters sort of in the middle of the story where our protagonist, in this case Lemon Hope, is sort of figuring things out and is sort of like, you know, confused and unsure what to do, and Flannel sort of acts as like a bit of an anchor where Lemon Hope can sort of figure things out and feel comfortable in said environment. That part of Flannel cannot be denied. That is the narrative purpose that he serves. But who he literally is, like who he actually is, where he comes from, etc., it's most likely that he's probably just Princess Bubblegum in disguise. Then again, I just had a thought. Hold on, let me gather it into words. When Lemon Hope brings up his nightmare to Flannel, Flannel says that's the third time this week. Could Princess Bubblegum really leave her kingdom for an entire week just for this one kid? Because you know how the candy people are, they can't do nothing without Princess Bubblegum. And I think that fact of Flannel being with Lemon Hope for at least a whole week is more evidence towards, I think, probably clone theory. Because I don't think Princess Bubblegum would ever leave her kingdom for a whole week if she could help it. But to sum up my thoughts on this whole theory of who Flannel actually is, he could really be anything. I think any of these theories could apply. Dream theory a little bit less so, but Flannel being a clone or replica of PB, or not being PB at all, or just being PB in disguise, I think all of these are possible options, but the most likely one is that it's probably just Princess Bubblegum herself. If you're wondering why I decided to make a video talking about a very specific episode and a very specific character from Adventure Time, well, for one, I've been rewatching the show a whole bunch, and two, the whole lemon grab plotline got into my head after I was eating some lemon candies like last week, and then I had the idea for this video when I was taking a shower, so this video's here now. But what do you think? Who do you think Flannel Boxingday really is? Do you think he's just Princess Bubblegum in disguise? Do you think he's a clone? Do you think he's some kind of fever dream, hallucination type figure? I don't really know, but I would love to know what all of you think. Also, before we end the video, I have a totally random side bit that I just have to do. And I'm really hoping luck is on my side because I want to piss people off with this. So someone was planning to give me this for Christmas, but they completely forgot to give it to me, so they just sent it in the mail. And it's a thing of Pokemon cards. It's just a single pack. And I am praying that I get the Charizard to piss people off. Piss off all the Pokemon snobs, you know? Anyway, let me see if I can open this without scissors. Probably not. Well, maybe, actually. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to rip the cards. That would be really unfortunate if there actually was a Charizard. Okay, new plan. All right, here's the code if anybody wants it. And we got the cards. I don't really know how people do these. I see them like kind of like take one from the back, take one from whatever, but and we got that. And we got whatever this is. Then we got whatever this is. Not entirely sure. I can't see. I'm not looking at my other monitor either, I promise. I'm literally just going through them. And we got another one. We got another one. No idea what this is. Probably I don't know. Some probably not valuable. There's probably nothing good in here. I'd wager there's probably nothing actually good in here. We're getting down to the last three. No idea what we have and what we don't, but we got just a couple more cards here, and then we got our last card right here. Well, no Charizard, but we did get Coraidon, one of the legendaries from Scarlet Violet, which is pretty cool. We also got my boy, where is he? Here he is. My boy Magneton, love the Magnemite tree, and Latios, who is another legendary. Yeah, these cards probably aren't worth jack shit, but why not? Maybe I'll give a couple to fans. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this pretty random theory video. I want to talk more about Adventure Time and cartoons and shows. Ever since Invincible Season 3 happened, I've just been wanting to make videos about shows that I like and watch. So maybe expect a couple more videos about like old, well not old, but classic animated shows coming pretty soon. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, then definitely be sure to hit the like and sub. I almost forgot to say that. And also consider joining the Discord server to leave content suggestions for normal videos, the Wheel of Content, literally anything. And of course, if you really like the way I do things and you want to show me a little bit of extra support, then definitely consider becoming a channel member. Not only do you directly support me in the process, but you also get access to a whole bunch of exclusive rewards, and I would just appreciate it a whole bunch. He says, putting his hand on the Omni logo, knowing what it stands for and what it represents. So that's gonna do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, have a good day, everyone.